Giulia Ferrari, who's a research fellow from the Gender Violence and Health Centre at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. Thanks very much for coming to talk to us. So some of those statistics are really quite surprising, aren't they, in this day and age? What do you think lies behind these kind of figures?
Yes, so thank you for having me, first of all. And yes, indeed, violence against women and girls is really widespread across the globe. As you said, 1 in 3 women experiences physical or sexual violence from an intimate partner or another man over the course of their lifetime. And the key drivers of this phenomenon seem to be related to attitudes in relation to the acceptability of violence against women and girls, men's power over women, as well as the lack of access for women to economic opportunities, and the lack of legal frameworks that make this kind of behavior illegal, that challenge the legality of these kinds of...
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the issue of legality there, because one of the points that there's an Amnesty International study pointed out that even in Europe, so European countries, 31 European countries, only 8 legally define sex without consent as rape, which I found kind of an interesting figure. Is that an area you think needs to change, the definition of rape?
Absolutely, there has been progress in this area, but definitely this is an area where we need to work more to really challenge the legality of these phenomena, and also not only to increase the clarity of the law around what is rape and what is violence against women, but also the certainty of the law. Very few cases that are reported end up in a conviction, and this also needs to change, so the certainty of the enforcement in a way.
What difference do you think has the Me Too movement globally made to this issue?
So definitely there are indications that it has made a difference, in the sense that more and more people are becoming aware of the fact that violence against women and girls is a problem. And that it is widespread and happens in areas where we wouldn't necessarily expect it. There is still a lot of work to be done more broadly around the acceptability of violence against women, and also giving women access to economic opportunities, to sort of access, and also access to education, to really change the perception.
And I suppose one question is where are there areas that are particularly bad for this? I mean, are there countries that stand out for what they do?
So I would rather not talk in terms of what countries are worse or better. I think what really is important is that this is a phenomenon that is highly prevalent worldwide. As you said at the beginning, 1 in 3 women experiences something like this over the course of their lifetime. And there isn't that huge a variation between different areas of the world. This is a big problem. And it is connected to issues around attitudes, and access to economic and social change and opportunities.
I mean, one of the figures that was in there is that it's often intimate partners who carry out this violence.
Absolutely.
Is that something that you think surprises people when they look at the figures?
It does, absolutely. And you're right, it is, intimate partner violence is indeed one of the biggest contributors, if not the biggest contributor of violence against women. And this is so true that even in conflict zones, intimate partner violence still is the biggest contributor of violence against women.
Thank you very much indeed, Giulia Ferrari, for coming to talk to us. Thank you.
Sure.